I'm on my transit to Singapore and staying here in China for an overnight layover. And the hotel is provided by the airline. It's free. Originally I thought I would sleep at the airport. My flight is tomorrow in the morning, and now it's 10 p.m. I thought I would spend the night at the airport, but I found out that they provide free accommodation. So I said, why not? And they told me because your ticket, the class of your ticket isn't high enough, so you may need to share a room with someone else, some stranger, but in the same gender. I said, it's okay. And when I checked in, I was the first one who checked into the room. And the reception said there's no room. I asked them, is there already someone in the room? They said no. So I was secretly hoping that no one would show up, that I could own the room myself. But no. I went out for dinner, came back. I thought no one was in the room because there was no room key in the slot that you insert the key to get electricity, to get power. There was no card there, no room key there. So I thought no one, but then I put in my room key, the light turns on, and some dude is sleeping in the other bed. So it's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he was trying to block his eyes from the lights. He didn't say anything. I don't even know whether he's Chinese or some overseas person. But yeah, I'm now sharing the room with someone. So I feel extremely uncomfortable because that guy was trying to sleep, and I turn off the lights immediately so that he can go back to sleep. But I wasn't ready to go to bed yet, although it's time that I could go to bed. But I just had dinner and I have this snack that I want to finish. So I feel really awkward in the room, and I say to myself, let me not stay here, let me just get out. So I just got out from the hotel, sitting right in front of the hotel, enjoying my snack, feeling more comfortable, feeling more free. Have you ever shared a room with a stranger? I wouldn't say this is my first time. I think I share a room with a stranger. Or if you go to a hostel, you're sharing room with, 8 or 16 strangers sometimes. And I snore. That makes really uncomfortable, sharing a room with strangers, because I snore. I would make the other person or persons unable to sleep. So I don't like sharing room. But I mean, the free accommodation is free. What can you ask? What can you expect, right? The flight ticket was honestly pretty cheap. I didn't expect to get free accommodation. So take whatever they offer. All I need is just maybe later go back, take a nap, and then get up in the morning earlier and head to Singapore. Today I have some reflection about privilege. One of them is this hotel room. That if I spend enough money, I don't have to share the room with someone. I can have my own room. But I didn't. I don't have that privilege. Having a private room is a privilege. But think about it. Even having a room, a shared room, is also a privilege. There are people sleeping at the airport. Right? The mosquitoes here. So, comparing to those who are sleeping over at the airport, I'm privileged to have a room, have a bed. I could take a shower. I actually took a shower. So in a way, anyone is privileged. Like everyone in the world is privileged in one or other way. Like today at the airport, I want to use the restroom. And I just walked in. It was almost empty. But the ladies' bathroom, there was a long queue. So they had to wait. Like the guys didn't need to wait. I bet this is so common. And my wife was always complaining, why can't you just build more female toilets? I agree. And not until today I realized this is a privilege. Right? Yeah, a lot of time we talk about it from the female perspective and say this is gender equity problem. But that means like I have never actually stand in a male gender perspective to realize that this is a privilege that I have, that I could just walk into the restroom and use it for most of the time. Even if there is a queue, the queue was not going to be too long, or the queue was going to move faster, much faster. It's a privilege. So there's so much privilege that if you don't pay attention, you won't realize. A lot of times we are jealous. We're jealous on others. We're jealous that, oh, that person has this, that person has that, that person could use that, that person owns that big house. But we don't realize what we have ourselves. So the same happens for me today at the check-in counter. when I don't have membership status with this airline, so I have to queue with everybody else. It was a long queue. It took me more than an hour to get checked in. I didn't have any checked-in luggage, but still I have to wait for a queue for an hour. It's even longer than an hour. And usually when I travel, I tend to try to buy flights tickets with status. I have some status with some major airlines here in Japan, so I usually use them. And then I could walk to the priority counter, just check in. There's almost no queue, and they were super fast, and could get in. I could usually just from the counter because Japan airports are so efficient, I could pass the check-in, the security check, and the custom in about 20 to 30 minutes. That's unimaginable in, for example, China. So I've always had that privilege, but today I didn't. I had to queue. I had to queue for more than an hour. So why am I talking about all this? The reason I'm talking about all this is that I think we often focus on what other people have and don't realize the privilege that we already have. And I believe that every person has some sort of privilege. You too. What privilege do you have? Are you aware of them? So, let's be aware of the privilege that we have that can actually make us more content, happy, satisfied, and more empathy. I just realized another privilege that I have right now, right here in China, is that I can speak Chinese. I was coming to the hotel with another lady. I think she's Korean. She couldn't speak Chinese, and her communication with the reception was through translation app. And I didn't have to do all that. I could just walk up to the reception and just talk. And I could ask for a recommendation for food. I could ask for information around what's available around this hotel. But that lady, even as simple as the fact that, as simple as the thing like, oh, you may have a roommate, the roommate may come, may not come. They have to communicate through the translation app. That's a privilege that I have here. Native versus foreigner. So another thing that I think we should reflect on is think about the privilege that we have today, and think about how we can use that to help people, to help the underprivileged people, to help people who has struggles doing the things that you don't struggle at all. So that's privilege. All right. Thank you. Just want to add that. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Just outside of my free hotel room, eating my snack, duck neck. In the city of Guangzhou, in the middle of nowhere. This is basically, it's close to the airport, so nothing much here. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.